Now, by the time we get into the charts for AMC as well as GameStop, I'm going to explain to you what I did with my positioning that I explained to Discord earlier this morning. First of all, before we get into the charts, GameStop open interest had a nasty spike. And you can see that call premiums basically went vertical. There were large increases and decreases in open interest, and over $300,000 today alone worth of puts have been sold off and transferred to calls. In fact, GameStop got flooded with almost $800,000 worth of calls, majorities being at $20 and $25 strikes. That expire tomorrow, which is odd as well. But some of this premium could be Roaring Kitty purchasing more call contracts as well. Now, we also have Chewy, another company owned by Ryan Cohen, just doing a repurchase of shares from BC Partners. Chewy announces $500 million repurchase of shares from BC Partners in a new SEC filing last night. They agreed to repurchase 17,550,000 shares at $28.49. This is in addition to the existing $500 million share repurchase program, which was authorized on May 24th. I told you to keep an eye on the other companies owned by Ryan Cohen, and I said it would not be a bad idea to allocate some cash to those companies. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. We saw a little bit of a decrease in AMC short interest coming down to 14.87% according to Ortex. We pay attention to it for the trend, and the trend shows that maybe some shorts started to get out, but again, we still think the short interest is much higher than that. Now, these article writers don't give up. A comeback does not appear to be in the cards for GameStop. They say to exit GameStop before it's too late, even though GameStop has over $4 billion in cash and no debt and an active CEO. They also say GameStop is becoming a poorly run bank and destroying the economy. A brick and mortar company that is holding $4 billion in cash is somehow just ruining the economy. Okay, now it's time to get into the charts, but if you haven't yet, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. GameStop is trading at $25.81, up 6.65% on the day. Every single thing that we have said has come out to fruition, and I'm going to tell you exactly what GameStop is about to do. This is exactly what you're seeing happen in the cycle right now as we speak, and this could end here and trickle its way back down to around $23.50 to potentially $22.75. Or this could come anywhere between $28 and $29 before trickling down to between $25 and $23. Same sort of setup. Either way, at any point before July 2nd, GameStop is going to finish its retracement. And I think that is what's about to happen. And at that point, that is the very last time to purchase. Now, again, this could happen before July 2nd because the cycles and some parts of the cycle are shrunk. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. What I did in Discord, what I said, announced my position, is I'm waiting for this sell-off right here, right? We made a little bit of a gain on the recent calls that we entered on GameStop. I'm waiting for this little trickle down to add more calls because I know what's coming next on AMC as well as GameStop, but especially AMC, and I'm going to explain why in a second. But overall, everything is playing out to a T for GameStop. And with that being said, if the cycles were to specifically last the same amount of time as the previous cycle, which is not likely, it seems as if this cycle this time around is shrunk and shorter, which means the moves are going to happen earlier and sooner and faster. But hypothetically, if that wasn't the case, you'd want to grab at least July 26th expiration to give yourself enough time, because GameStop's top would be between July 12th and July 16th, somewhere in that zone, if the cycles were not shrunk, as well as AMC's wouldn't even begin its run until July 17th, okay? AMC has to play out this format right here still. With that being said, AMC's trading at $4.70, up 0.43% on the day. Was up more, now it is getting a sell-off. This right here is exactly what you're playing out in the cycle as of right now on AMC, okay? This is exactly what you're seeing here. With that being said, AMC about to trickle down at a much shorter degree than GameStop, and then start this spring action to the upside. And I just want to point that out there. This is why I'm excited for AMC, especially because after this is done, right, when AMC finishes out this fractal, it's going to have a much larger move than it did back here, as GameStop is previously, right, based on previous cycles, going to cap out at the recent high that we hit around $60. That doesn't have to be the case, especially since Roaring Kitty is back. But AMC is already likely to pass this high right around 13 bucks and come up to at least 17.50, which is a price target that I called out, and I still think that is the likely scenario on AMC. Make sure to share this video when it's done. Now, Coinbase sued US regulators, SEC and FDIC, alleging a, in quotes, deliberate and concentrated effort to pressure banks to deny crypto firms access to federal banking system. Finally, someone coming at the SEC, so shout out to Coinbase. We saw the SEC wrongfully put blame on Atlas Trading Group for the, in quotes, pump of Torch stock, ticker symbol TRCH. Their case was dismissed without prejudice. Now, why put the blame on the former CEOs when you originally put the blame on Atlas? We talked about this recently in a video, but it seems like the SEC is trying to distract and protect hedge funds. They're not protecting retail investors and companies that are trying to make a change in the world. The SEC blames the 200% increase in a single week on 2 people. What about HKD when their stock increased 19,000% in under a month? Or the hundreds of companies that hedge funds manipulate every day, making stocks and companies lose all of their value, fall 99% and have to bankrupt and delist. Finally, people are shedding light on what the SEC is doing, these corrupt regulators. And speaking of Coinbase suing the SEC, let's jump into Bitcoin. I said this week is likely to close above 61,500. That is what is happening. We're at 61,700. If this holds, right, which it is likely to hold for the week, we called out this channel. We said these top wicks are what pushes us back in, and it looks much better on the weekly time frame. But as of right now, I just want to show you how close we're fighting this channel on the daily. We want to see Bitcoin break above, and really best case scenario, break above 63,000 and hold above that, right? That's best case scenario for the end of the week for Bitcoin. Just keep an eye on it. Now, people are calling out crashes on Twitter. It's not anything new, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because the SPY has been pumping for a while now, and I just want to warn you, if we do have a correction, where are we going to go? This is where we're going to come down to, all the way at the bottom of the fib, anywhere between 495 on the SPY and 489, okay? 495 and 489 all the way down here on the S&P 500, and if that is something that we're about to see, it is likely that you see it before the election, okay? Which means you'd see something like this into the election, and then around election time, you know, the SPY rally back up. Not necessarily exactly like I just drew out, but you get what I'm saying here. So just take this with a grain of salt. The SPY is still holding its strength right here, but the momentum, the volume isn't as good as we want it to be. Tesla, just like we said, we need a full candle open and close above 197.15. We said the other day, where did we get rejected? Basically right at this level that we have drawn out at resistance, and now we are fighting that. So watch for a decision on Tesla. As always, keep an eye on what the chart is telling you. This looks like you could be forming a cup and handle, meaning you come back down to 187 and build that handle before moving higher and smashing that resistance level, okay? So just keep an eye on that. Speaking of Tesla, Elon Musk's SpaceX has just won a $850 million contract from NASA to build the D-Orbit vehicle for the International Space Station. And lastly, Nvidia. Nvidia finally is showing weakness. Not only is it showing weakness, but it's showing an ugly head and shoulders pattern here, showing that this could potentially be a top for Nvidia, and we could see a reversal back to the downside, coming to retest 111, coming back up likely to around 115, and then smashing lower all the way back down to about $94. This is something just to keep an eye on for Nvidia. But again, this push was much weaker the second time around than any other push that Nvidia usually has. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to press the second link in the comments down below to open a Moomoo account and make a deposit into there before the month of June is over. They're giving you up to 15 free stocks and allowing you to earn 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash for doing nothing. Again, use the link, open an account, and make a deposit into there. You're also getting level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more. So go do that, guys. And of course, the top link is my custom indicator if you want to add it to your trading view charts to level up your trading journey. The third link, Discord server, probably the most important link on the list. Best Discord for the value. I'm in there on the daily with the most amazing people who talk stocks as well as crypto all day long. Basically a big group chat of people who want to become financially free like yourself. We also have options trading alerts in there. I post my trades as soon as I take them and more. So get in the Discord, guys. Overall, that is it. I love you all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on AMC and GameStop and the positions that I will be taking. Lottery socks out.